thank you so much for taking the time
Sure.
to talk to us. Always appreciate it. And we do have a little bit of gameplay footage that Dean's going to show us. So we're going to maybe cut it and move the camera this way. Again, thank you so much, Dean. Appreciate it. All the best with the release.
Cheers.
Thanks, man.
This stuff here won't exist. So the idea in the standalone is that you will actually drag items off your avatar. So if I want to take the helmet off, I will click and drag and take it off. But for the moment, we haven't got the hit detection working, so we've just created a temporary little thing there. So I can drag some of these items off here like that. And I can open up the container and see what's in them. So you can see there's no container on the motorbike helmet, but the blue jeans have 6 slots there. So I'll put this back on my dude, and I'll put a helmet back on my dude, and I'll have a look. So I've got 3 items in here. It might be a little bit hard to see because my screen's really low. But so there's a gas cooker top, there's a disinfectant spray, and some beans here. So if I want to craft it, if I can hold it over items and I can see what I can craft and what I can't. So you can see that goes red, which means I can't do anything. That goes orange, which means I can. So if I hold it over it, I can disinfect the item. And so it's telling me there that, you know, at the moment I've just got a temporary message. So I can spray on that. So with the beans, and I can eat them and stuff like that. So yeah. So obviously the possibilities are pretty huge there with us for what we want to do. As well, one thing we're quite proud of is that the container system works in multiplayer when it's on the ground as well, and that. So it's a lot better in terms of dealing with stuff. So you can actually, you know, come back over to something and check it out, and you can see all the items are there on the ground when you put it back on you. So the idea is to really make the player, I should probably turn that brightness, I think it's up, really make the player feel connected with their character, and that's why this avatar is really important. As well, we've got the context menu, which you can sorry, not the context menu, the quick bar menu. So you can put stuff on. I'll just actually quickly hack myself in, and I'll probably get crap on the internet for this. Everyone's like, you're hacking your own game. Like, yeah, well, I don't have the internet, so yeah, so I'll just drop that on the ground and then add it back on. So I have, so you can see here now this context menu here, so I can select my weapon and go around. Now, one other thing we're doing is, that won't be there as well, we're completely removing the AI, the UI, but one thing we're doing is we've taken a lot of feedback from Arma 3. We actually grabbed a couple of the guys who were working on the control system for that and said, what would you do if you could do anything? So right now they're working on how to implement and change the controls so it's much more fluid. Yeah, but we're experimenting with a couple of ways. One way we might have it that your weapon always stays down and that you have to hold a key for it to stay up. And the other way we might just leave it like this, where you actually run around. So this is the example here of, see how I have to hold down the space key to lift the weapon up and aim? And we're hoping to do that to try and remove this shoot on sight mentality. So we're experimenting with a couple of ways to do it. We're not sure whether we're going to go with this way or whether we'll go with the Arma 3 style way, but it's quite cool because then you just, you know, you're running along and then you're running along and, oh, yep, I'm aiming, so people know then that I'm pointing my weapon at them.
Right.
Because I know from being a soldier myself, you know, it's really tiring to run around with your weapon always pointed at people. If I go into...
Is there going to be third person as well as first person? I know some servers on the DayZ, you know, would only have first person, and some would give the option of first and third.
Yeah, so we like a lot of people are purists and say we just want first person. One thing we're doing is, those in the game industry will know that often you have a separate skeleton for where your weapon is in first person from third person. Arma doesn't have that. So that's why sometimes our first person view looks a bit terrible where the weapon's placed. So with the new skeleton we're implemented, it's not implemented for the player yet, but we're going to be able to do that. So we're going to make the first person view look a lot better. But we are going to add an option in, I think it's already in the options, for players to change their perspective and stuff like that.
Oh, great,
yeah.
Great. That's awesome.
We've been trying to add a lot more options, so you can see here the field of view. I don't know if you know if it's working yet.
It looks like the clothing...
Oh, wait, I'm in camera, that's why.
Looks like the clothing is a lot more detailed as well. And
yeah, way more detailed. We got this really great Russian artist, and he's doing a really good job with it. So I think you can see here, field of view is working out.
Is it okay to show that red screen?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's fine. So that's our, if everybody's curious about it, it gives us all this debug kind of information. It kind of shows how awesome the engine is. So
Cool.
as we're debugging stuff, yeah.
Of course.
We try to be really open with our development.
That's great.
But you can see the sky's looking way better, and
That's good.
all the interiors being like open is really cool, and being
How-
able to vault up stuff.
How are the day and night cycles? I mean, does it still get really dark at night? And
Yeah,
depending on...
our night actually looks terrible. It's the worst thing at the moment in the game because we've played with the shaders for the day. Yeah, so, whoops, I keep opening that door. So you can see even the movement indoors is way better now.
Absolutely. And more
getting a bit sick.
more buildings are going to be enterable as well, or all of them are going to be enterable?
Nearly all of them are going to be enterable.
Okay. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so we've
That's
got a
good
lot
news.
of new areas we've added. My dude's really tired. Let's go back into this cool little camera moment.
Should do something with the item spawning too, so it's a lot more natural.
Yeah, it is. I wish I could show that right now. I'm going to try and show it in the panel. Yeah, trying to show it in the panel because now like items can just kind of spawn anywhere, like even in car wrecks and stuff like that. So
that's great.
It's going to be pretty cool. But
Wow.
this satellite map's going to look even better because we've just purchased new satellite imagery of all the terrain.
Epic.
So you can see even on this crappy little laptop, it's still looking.
It
really
looks
good.
delicious. How is the map? I know the map's improved. I know you guys have added some stuff. Are you going to focus on one map?
Yeah, we are going to focus on this map. There's
Okay.
people aren't really going to recognize it. There's whole new areas. So this
Gotcha.
is an area we're quite proud of. So this gives like all these buildings here, and we're actually working. One of our tasks for our artists is to make these all enterable, but they're going to be kind of abandoned ghost town type buildings. Like the windows will be all smashed, and you'll really have to check inside these buildings. So I think this is going to be a real massive kill zone. Like you can actually loot all these vehicles here and stuff like that. So it's going to be a real death zone, I think, this area. And this is actually right by Chernarus. So it actually makes, you know, because you sort of look at Chernarus and you're like, why is it so big? Because nobody lives here. But now you can see these areas where
Cool
people
additions.
live.
Yeah. A lot of bandits are going to be hiding out there with their can of beans.
Yeah,
and-
it's going to be pretty challenging. So.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for showing us that. That's just it's awesome.
Yeah, look,
Definitely.
it's got a long way to go. You know, but we're getting very close to that alpha, and we're spending a lot of time to make it, you know, it feel a lot better, and yeah.
I will tell you, if anything, it's better to delay a game and make it better than release it too soon.
Yeah.
So, very cool. Thanks again, Dean. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Appreciate it, man.